Happy Wednesday, Anthony, although it feels like a Tuesday.
Today is Wednesday.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. Glenn Hausman here with the one and the only Mr. Anthony Melchiori. How are you, my friend?
I am well. I I'll tell you, I really enjoyed our podcast yesterday with the TSA.
Yeah.
And it was it's fascinating that even exists. Like that position, the creative, what is he, creative director, or what is he?
Innovation officer. So yesterday, everybody, we spoke to Dan McCoy, Chief Innovation Officer with the TSA. Right, Anthony?
Yeah, and it's very interesting. And just when he was talking, I loved what he said. He goes, he said, what I thought was easy was hard.
Right.
And what I thought was hard was harder.
Yep.
See, like I just don't have the capability and patience to deal with that kind of bureaucracy. And apparently he does. And he's like, listen, I came in knowing it was going to be hard, and it's harder than I thought. But, I'm here to innovate and to make things better. And there's a lot of reasons for the complications in the paperwork and all the different, sign-offs that you need. It's public safety. So, of course, there's going to be – so I found that fascinating. That part of it I found fascinating. To be able – the creative people creative, innovative people innovative. But that's not what keeps you in the job. What keeps you in the job is, are you able to deal with the politics?
Right. Yeah. And that part seems exceptionally complicated to me, Anthony. I like the idea of civil service. It's great to give back to your country in that sort of a way, but I don't think I can handle it. And for those of you out there who missed yesterday's show, good thing it's in our databases. Get the audio version on No Vacancy with Glenn Hausman, or checking in with Anthony and Glenn podcast feed. You can find them on Stitcher, on Apple iTunes, all the places that you get it. Also, the video version on all of our sites, including novacancynews.com and our YouTube page. Anthony, it was so much fun to do all of that learning with them yesterday.
Yeah, it was very, very often I'm asked, why don't you go into politics? Mm-hmm. And then I go, and usually from friends and people that know me, and I'm like, you met me, right?
Yeah.
like there's nothing in my DNA that would tell me to go into politics. Like
I could totally see you in a room trying to negotiate with both sides to get them to come to some sort of
No, see, I'm a negotiator as long as everybody I'm good at that. As long as everybody's playing nice. When people aren't playing nice, that's when I'm not good at politics.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, our today's guest now, he plays nice, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he has some underhanded methods.
I heard about him at Hilton. He's a bad man.
All right, he's laughing backstage. That's a good sign. We're just making fun. Let's bring in Juan Corvinos, VP of Development in the Caribbean and Latin America with Hilton. Juan, so great to see you, our friend. How are you today?
Great to see you guys. Great to hear that Anthony thinks I'm a bad guy. I'm not.
Yeah, well, listen, man, we really like to make everybody feel comfortable in the initial moments that they're on this show. So thanks again for being here with us. Great place to start off, Juan. I have a different hotel where I'm not at every day. Where am I not today, sir?
I think you're at Zemi Beach in Anguilla, which was voted Forbes best pool in the Caribbean. A great hotel.
Excellent.
Do we have a picture of the best pool? Our Crackerjack Suzanne can pull it up, maybe? I'd like to see
maybe
that.
She will pull that up. Juan, how long did it take you to realize Anguilla was Anguilla and not Anguilla? I grew up thinking that it was Anguilla my whole life. I don't know where I went wrong.
You just try to pronounce it, and then people correct you as they go through. So if you make a mistake, they surely are going to tell you, please don't pronounce it that way.
You know what, Glenn? I've been around a long time. I've never heard anybody pronounce it the way you pronounce it.
Well, listen, man, I was in my 8th grade Spanish class, and then I learned about Anguilla, and I put the double L thing together. I thought it had the Y pronunciation, so I kind of went down the wrong path on that. But I'm glad that this is a warm, open, loving environment, and neither of you are making me feel bad about that. Let's go back to talking about how horrible Juan is. Can we do that instead?
So what's going on now in the Caribbean as far as travel? Is it open? Are we allowed to come? Let's get that out of the way, and then let's talk about the great developments you have.
Yeah, I mean, countries have been opening and reopening depending to their policies, right? So you've seen different islands take different positions. Some islands took a more liberal approach. Some islands had to, scale back and then reopen. It's followed the normal pattern, but we are seeing more and more countries opening, which is phenomenal, right? Like all properties are starting to reopen. The few ones that we still have closed are, planning the reopenings, and we're
Mhm.
very excited by the amount of people that are, I'm excited to see all the people at the airports, right? Planes are packed, people are back out
Yep.
there, and it's starting to feel, like home again, going and, having to swerve around people at the airport. It's starting to get fun again.
What countries are open?
I mean, there's about almost 54 countries in CALA, but you have Jamaica, Dominican Republic. I mean, just two of the big ones, but then all of the others have certain restrictions to come in and out. Bahamas, Aruba, etc. I mean, mostly, when you book a flight, you will know what requirements you need to fulfill, and then you just be careful out there, but don't stay home. There's a lot of places, if you're now vaccinated, that you can go and enjoy a little bit of that pool that you're seeing right there. It is a phenomenal property, that one, and like
That
that one we have
pool
a lot of
looks
great ones.
That all looks amazing. And of course, you can go visit Aruba, Puerto Rico, Mexico, a bunch of other countries right now. Things are really coming together. But man, I can see why that won top award for such a gorgeous pool over there. How awesome is that? Anthony, I think it's time for us to get away to Caribbean, get away to Mexico, get away to Latin America. I'm getting sick and tired of being here pretending on places.
I went to Manhattan this morning. I was excited. I'll tell you, it was funny. I posted stuff on my Instagram yesterday. It's just good to see people traveling again.
Yeah, it really is.
Traveling into the city anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, you've got a gret car, so no big deal. So, Juan, what are you seeing right now as VP of Development in Latin America and the Caribbean? I think we have a way of just pretending it's the Caribbean and not Latin America. I don't want to give that short shrift. What has this last year been like for you, trying to get development deals done in the most unusual period of your entire career?
Well, taking 2020 aside, it was a really, really a tough year, right, for our properties. Latin America got hit at the later stage of the pandemic, and we're still under siege in some countries, right? Vaccinations slowly rolling out, but we still have a long ways to go. The good news is Hilton, the team just really, hunkered down and started, talking to owners, making sure that they were okay, talking to team members. We actually had a record year in development. We signed over 30 deals last year, believe it or not.
Just in your
5,000, just in Caribbean and Latin America,
Wow,
30
dude, that's
deals, over 5,300 rooms.
wow. Wow.
So, and we continue going. Of course, some of them, 50% of them were immersions, right? Owners need a way to recover after the pandemic. And, the America's hemisphere is going to stay contained for a little while. People are going to start to expand a bubble slowly, right? So whereas before you would take a trip to Thailand and not blink an eye, right now you're going to start, going out of your house 3 hours, drive by markets, then you're going to fly, then you're going to fly a little longer. So the relationship between the US, Canada, and all of Caribbean and Latin America is there, right? Like you are 3 hours from the Dominican Republic, from the East Coast, so you can travel and venture out there. They have programs that have set in order to make guests feel safe, other than Hilton, reassuring it with Clean Stay, which I know Danny spoke a while ago about in the show.
Yes.
So we
And, when
have
you
a reassurance.
Cordell was actually on the show to share
Correct.
that, and he'll be returning soon to the show. I think the next few weeks or stuff like that. Talk about what he's up to.
You know who you have to help us get on? My friend Larry Trexler. You got to get him on.
Larry's great.
We got to get him on.
Yeah,
write that down. Write that down.
If you need a Larry Traxler fit, go check out the Hotel Design podcast that I used to do pre-coronavirus. He's our first guest on that, show number 1. Check that out. That's a few years ago. We got to get him back. You're right about that.
So what has been driving the growth in the Caribbean and Latin America?
So 50% were conversions. Owners were worried about recovery, and what I call the warm waters of Hilton is you're plugging into an engine, you're getting the reassurance, you're accessing a pipeline of clients and visibility, right? So many of them said, okay, right now it's the time. We're going to, they wanted to accelerate recovery. So that was a big part. But we were working on several initiatives in the region, such as rollout of new brands, such as our all-inclusive project, which I know you had last week. Brian King and from Marriott and Sunwing talking about that. But we were pushing the pedal, on that one as well. So we never stopped. We continued moving ahead. And as I said, we hunkered down and we continued working. And that is the result of that work and that tenacity from the team, that they just never looked back. They just continued trying to push forward. And quite honestly, it's worked, right? Like we're seeing this year tremendous momentum coming in from last year, and we're starting to see some green sprouts, like people that had thought about, oh, maybe this new build project we'll put it on the freezer for a little while. They're taking it out. We're seeing banks granting loans. We did a groundbreaking in the Dominican Republic with the banks and a lot of dignitaries, like less than a month.
Awesome. Uh-oh.
He's still excited about it. You can see that on his face.
To go.
Oh, he's back. Are you there, Juan? Are you
I'm
there?
here.
All right. We lost your signal for a second. Please continue on.
No, as I said, people want to travel. People want to take that vacation. So we're going to be there ready to serve them.
Excellent. All right, so let me ask you about this. I remember back in the day when I went to Aruba in my 20s and stuff like that. I go to a hotel and they had the European plan, then they had the American plan. Of course, the European plan is now what we call all-inclusive for the most part. All the meals and stuff were in there. You guys have been focused on all-inclusive European plan for a really long time. In your opinion, what is going on that's getting all the hotel companies excited about it in response to customers really engaging in this type of a notion when they go on a leisure trip to the Caribbean and Latin America in particular, that's so exciting around this particular category?
So I think that what's exciting is what you're when you're leaving your home, what you're going to be paying, right? And then you can pre-plan your vacation, prepay your vacation, and then spend it on ancillary things that you want to do. So you want to know how much your vacation is going to take you. It's budgeting 101, right? You want to budget for your buckets of expenditure. So this model has been going on for a long time. Club Med still says that they coined the term all inclusive, and they did. If you look back, that's what they did. But Spanish companies in particular have been very successful with this model.
Malia?
Melia, Rio Barcelo, all of the big Spanish companies started this model, and now, so we started looking at it a long time ago. We had all inclusive at Hilton for many years, right? But we said, okay, well, the customers want this. All my friends want to talk about is all inclusive vacations, and so how do we make it in a way that is Hilton branded, and that gives the customer the reassurance that we're going to take care of them, that the quality of product is going to be there, the things that you would expect from a brand like ours. And how do we package it? And that takes time, study, work, Phil and the brands, work with everybody to make sure that we can deliver that experience. We're about to open the Hilton Cancun all-inclusive in about 4 or 5 months, 750 rooms. This will be a Hilton managed property, but we've had our partnership with Playa Resorts with 4 Hiltons in the Caribbean and Mexico that have been extremely successful, or so I say, and I think they will agree, in driving customers and getting them the Hilton experience, right? So we just announced a new opening, the Tapestry in Playa del Carmen, called Yucatan. And we keep on going. We're going to be adding throughout the year more and more. And we're building it. We're doing it one at a time, asset light, like we always do. And it's taken a little longer, but we are really curating a collection of hotels under our different brands that we think are going to be in the coming years extremely popular with the consumer. Our consumers are telling us. Hilton owners are telling us.
What markets are driving the growth?
The all-inclusive model works in some markets, but not in all, right? Like you need to have an upper upscale product, right? That delivers that type of service, that delivers a consistent type of service, and that you have variety. And it is a surprise and delight business. So it's additions that actually, give you that great experience. So a great room, and you're thinking about markets, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Cuba is also a great market for all inclusive, but right now US is not a target market, but for Europe it is. And then you have smaller island nations that also do this. We're about to announce very shortly, and I'm not going to say where here because somebody will kill me. Another in a smaller island, but will be all inclusive, and it's coming up. Fast and Furious, September 1st opening. You'll remember that I said this next week.
Yep.
So it doesn't work in every island, but it works in most.
Google, see if I can find it on Google.
Not only
hope
maybe
not.
maybe you can threaten him because he said someone will kill him. Maybe if we do worse, he'll actually.
I think the person in the green room is who he's talking about.
The person in the green room is looking at me.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, we've all dealt with wrath in our lives, but nothing worse than the wrath of an angry PR professional. That is not something.
That is true. I got yelled at 7 a.m. in the morning. I was about to be on the Today Show, and I was 2 hours early. But according to her, I was 2 minutes late because I was 7:02. So I was getting my shoe shine across the street, and I got yelled at. And I was like, "Oh, I've never been yelled at like that before."
sorry to interrupt you, Juan. We're feeling silly.
That's actually I don't feel that way at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice eye roll. Very, very, very impressive. All right. So the key is upper upscale, that sort of a particular model. So could you please elaborate on that? We didn't mean to derail you.
The experiences that you're going to be able to deliver, whether it's MICE and incentive packages. If you think about it, we've been doing all inclusive in the MICE business for a long time. When you go to a conference, you get served breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, right? It is a package bundle and room, of course. So, how to do it in a way that is, that also speaks either, leisure or business, and we can do it, right? So you add to it the Hilton engine, and you have that MICE component coming into these places to do incentives and meetings. And then you add the leisure component, and then you add weddings. I mean, weddings and special events is a huge market for this. And some people wanted to do it, right? And they wanted to do it with, an American brand. And so we're offering that to our consumers. We're giving them another option because of the 18 brands that we have, we're gonna make sure that the right ones pivot into that space to give the reassurance of all the brand, of all what the brand gives into this space. And so far, I think we are happy, but more important, the customers are happy. And that's what really is we're trying to do. We're trying to serve customers where they want to go for the reasons they want to go.
Right. And they don't just want all inclusive. Of course, there's a lot of travelers out there that want regular types, more traditional types of a hotel product. I'm thinking in particular business travelers and stuff like that. We tend to, I think Mexico and Caribbean and Latin America are all just about leisure, but there's a lot of business that's going on there as well. So how have you been developing hotels that are more focused on business and transient travelers?
Well, I mean, so of the 170 plus hotels we have open in the region, 80% of them are business led, right? Their business or they're there to serve customers for a business purpose or for any MICE purpose. And then 20% of resorts, we are seeing a trend like as recovery from COVID, and you've heard from many people now that leisure is going to be the first one to come back. And then business is following. It really is following. I can tell you yesterday on my plane, there were a lot of people in suits, right?
Right.
So that's coming back.
Didn't Kevin Jacobs, your CFO, just say, I saw it online, that this Airbnb article that came out that said business travelers never coming back? He's like, yeah, that's not true. That's not the way we see it.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. That was yesterday in Times Square. He's coming back.
Yeah.
You see it? He's all dressed up in his suit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He was taking the work from home back to the office, right? Like it's coming back. I mean, yesterday on the plane, it was 30%.
Interesting. When I posted on Instagram yesterday, saying, "Old school commuter, this is the new school commuter."
Right.
But people were commuting. It was great. I was so excited. I said it here.
When you start seeing on planes that people board with the like the Toomey bag or like the black standard bag and then a backpack on top of it, that hasn't happened in the last year where I've been traveling. Yesterday, the bins were full, and they had that backpack and that suitcase.
I was standing next to a business guy the other day. We were both going through the airport, and he's a business guy, I'm a business guy, and we were both looking at each other, and we know what we were saying. We were both saying, "Isn't this cool?" Like we're going through TSA. Isn't this cool? It's like, because I swear to God, I haven't seen a business traveler in 6 months, and I looked hard for him. Every time I went through an airport, I couldn't find one. So it is great to see it all coming back. It really is. And talking about, not to keep going about all-inclusive, but there's two types of people, all-inclusive and I'll never do all-inclusive.
Right.
And are you starting to see people like me who are not about all-inclusive starting to kind of trend to all-inclusive? I find myself thinking about it. I haven't really done it yet, but I'm thinking about it. And how do you get that person that's not a all-inclusive person to come to all-inclusive?
It's like the Pepsi Coke challenge, right? Like, you need to try it. You need to try it because people have been reticent to try it, but they've never been reticent to try, for example, cruises. It's very similar to a cruise, but it's not, right? You're not moving. It's just a different proposition. But I tell everybody, just give it a try. Give a try to what we've done. And then you tell me, Anthony, if I think I know someone that can help you in that regard, and you know people that can help you in that regard. So let's find a way to get, and then you give us right.
I've been to one really good one where it just felt very upscale and it was good, and then I walked into one when I was in Mexico with my crew, and they know me. I go right back to my room usually, and they're like, come to the bar. And I literally saw something that is the reason I'm prevented from going to all inclusives. You're
prevented. Was that like a court order? What happened? What happened there?
I just there's an environment.
Yeah. All right. So, Juan, back to what you're talking about with business travel. I think you were saying that planes are full, business travelers are coming back. How does that really affect what's going on in the Caribbean and Latin America from what you're seeing? And will there be even more flights, do you think, added that are going to help your hotels that you've been working so hard to put together?
So the stats, United Airlift.
Hey, your sound is breaking up. Could you start that over, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I feel like maybe you're coming from Miami, South America, or something like that today.
So
there we go.
From United now, then in region, America.
Nah, that's not working too good. Hold on 1 second. Stay right where you are.
It's like an old karate movie.
I know. All right, let's try that again.
Okay, try. How about now?
A little bit better. I think you're just you're having bad internet over there. Although your picture looks.
If we don't get you, why don't you try to take your earpods out?
Yep.
So, what we're
it's not working. Try to take it's not working.
So take your earpods out. We'll put you backstage for 1 second. Take them out. Get yourself reoriented. We'll bring you right back in because I know everyone's fascinated watching this part of the show, but
so I don't want to say anything bad about all inclusive. I love all inclusives. I went to. I'm a little hesitant because you gotta pick for what your vibe is, right? My vibe is when you do all inclusive, and I want really high end food and really high end drinks, and I don't want a lot of crowds, but I want a little bit of crowds. And then there's a different type of vibe for all inclusive where the people who want to socialize and want to meet new people. Right. So I really, really, really suggest people try all inclusive. Listen, I love cruising, and cruising is the same way. But now that they're coming up with that separate part of the ship where you have like almost your own hotel, like I'm all about that.
Yeah, I hear you. The older I get, the more I like that, that access thing, getting to do things other people don't do. All right, Juan, let's see how this is working. Nope. Something's going on. We'll bring it right back. Yeah. So, Anthony, you going to the Caribbean anytime soon?
I'm not. I'm going, hopefully, if everything works out, I'm going down to the Breakers in Palm Springs, believe it or not.
You said you're in July, like that, right?
I'm really looking. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I have too much going on in business and in family that I really can't go. But if I had my druthers right now, I'd get on I'm not kidding. I would literally get on a 365-day cruise.
Would you go on a 365-day cruise? One of those world cruises, Juan. I'd like to do that. That sounds fun.
So
Oh, man.
It's not working, Juan.
You're just having bad tech, brother.
Maybe let him go all the way out and then come back in.
Exactly. Hit the refresh on your browser. You'll totally leave us and then just re-enter. Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah. But yeah, if I could go on a 365-day cruise right now, and I'm not kidding, I would go. Like, I want to go back out and travel, and I want to be able to go back to the ship. And to me, that's a dream.
You know what's a dream? Hearing Juan. Juan, can we hear you now?
let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. It's bad tech. So I wouldn't go on a cruise 365 days. Thank you.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't?
No, that's a little bit too much. I like to go back on the air.
Well,
The air.
Yeah, but you can go to different ports, right? That's the whole thing.
Anthony, he's still a young guy. He's not ready for that.
Yeah,
You know?
see, when you get to our age and you become, where you don't want to really be around anyone, you're good with being alone for 365 days.
I've been told
that's definitely the bright side of coronavirus for me.
I've been told that when you retire, you get a cruise in Alaska. Like that.
No,
that is
I've been to Alaska on a shoot. I've been there 3 times. And I will tell you, the way to go to Alaska is not on a cruise ship. It is to fly in and then no, I'm serious. I learned this. Fly in and then find a really, really educated, really good, talented pilot of a boat, a captain of a boat, and let him take you, because he gets closer to the glacier.
Right.
And when they fall, it's like, oh my God, like a bomb went off. When you're at the cruise ship, you're so far away because they can't get so close. So they don't really get their feeling. But when we're on a boat and we got so close to when the glacier was melting and it fell, it was unbelievable. It was probably one of the greatest events I've ever experienced traveling. So I've done Alaska. I've done the helicopter into the clouds where I thought I was going to die. I've done the getting the crabs out of the out of the water. No more Alaska for me. Japan and a 365-day cruise. I'm in.
I'll see you there.
I'll tell you what, Juan. What I want to do next is visit a Hilton branded property somewhere in the Caribbean or Latin America. So let's bring it up.
You're a company man, Glenn. You're such a kiss ass.
Sorry, I am. It's my eternal struggle. I try to be badass, turn out to be a kiss ass. What are you gonna do?
We're not complaining.
Let's talk a little bit about what you're going on. So, we've already established that a lot of owners decided to come over to Hilton over this past year. So you closed 30 deals in the time that the virus started and stuff. Pretty fascinating stuff over there. We were talking a little bit about business-focused hotels, and that's kind of where we left it when you started having these tech questions. But how are you getting people maybe within the Hilton Honors program to really know what's going on with that? And how does maybe like artificial intelligence and stuff help guests find your hotels that you've been working so hard to develop, for example?
So first of all, we have a great PR team that lets everybody know what's happening, right? Like
That's right. But wait till next week to hear about
wait till next week, and you'll see a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
No, but one thing that I wanted to mention is United and American have 18 and 22% more lift to Latin America now that they did in 2019. So you have more seats going to these destinations than in 2019. Right now, that's the greatest thing. Because you remember, they can't fly as much to Europe or to Asia, so they're concentrating their flow down here, which is phenomenal for our business. By the way, it's not yet fully recovered because these are leisure trips, as we've said. Business is coming back, and it will come back. But we have more lift and flow to the region than we did in 2019.
Right?
I would have never guessed that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. So that's great. A lot of frequencies. I can tell you, I've tried a lot. The other day, I tried to change a flight to Cancun to get in the hour before, and they were offering me money to change to the next time. So there's movement, right? Like, we're starting to see a little bit of that coming back. Regarding, for example, South America is slowly recovering. We're starting winter down there now when we start summer in the Northern Hemisphere. So, we're going to see a little bit of, as vaccines continue rolling out, we're going to see a slower recovery as we go into the end of the year, and then we are expecting that that it will continue, that it will improve as they get into their spring and then their summer. So we kind of have a little bit of, tales of two cities here because of the weather change in northern southern hemisphere. But we're very, very excited about that. We're actually seeing some conferences rebooking for 2022. There's business in the books that's filling. Pickup in some of the destinations is actually being very, very good. If anybody's planning a vacation for the holidays, the December holidays, I encourage you to book, because things seem like they're going to book up. I mean, Zemi Beach, behind where Glen is, I don't think they're going to be empty when the time comes. So it is going to be interesting to find a vacation for us for Thanksgiving and beyond.
Yeah, for sure. I love the idea, though, going to places within Latin America and South America is really what we're talking about here. What are some of the emerging destinations that you're seeing in Latin America that we aren't normally talking about? Like Colombia was the big story 6, 7, 8 years ago. So what are you thinking about right now? What are the real growth markets when it comes to Hilton and your ability to close deals?
Well, I mean, all the markets are seeing a very stable trend, right? Like we were talking about Colombia 6 years ago, I remember, in a conference. And now, despite what's happening with the progress of the virus in Brazil, Brazil is getting very active. We're going to open several hotels this year in Brazil. The first one will be the Tapestry in Sao Paulo. We just opened the Canopy in Sao Paulo, and
congratulations.
So there's going to be a lot of activity in Brazil, a lot of activity in Argentina, which might come as a surprise to many people, but it is one of the highest visitation places in South America because of all they have to offer. Right? You've got the south, you've got the north, you've got the vineyards. So people want to travel down there, and we're going to continue opening hotels. Chile as well, Peru. Machu Picchu, natural wonders.
Yeah.
You've got sea, you've got rainforest, and you've got ruins. So people are going to go back and start traveling back there. So we're seeing homogeneous growth amongst South America, Central America, and Mexico, right?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a story that we intend to replicate, because we have 110 hotels in the pipeline that will add to the 170 plus. Ooh. So in the next 10 years, you're going to see, that growing, and you're going to be able to visit a lot of places that before you were like, oh, should we go there? Oh, well, there's a Hilton branded property there. Maybe we'll take the trip there.
It reminds me of when I was in Italy. I was doing a keynote speaking engagement. There was a gentleman representing Airbnb, and he said to me, Anthony, the hotel business is going to be an afterthought in a couple of years.
Yeah, right.
And I won't tell you what I told him, but I had a very quick and very Brooklyn reaction. And in listening to you speak, with everybody saying the hotel business is going out of business, whether it be the crash in 2008, whether it be the pandemic, whether it be Airbnb and those type of companies, the hotel business, we're professionals of what we do, from design to build to know what the guest wants. We've been doing this a long time, and people want, when they go on vacation, they want an extension of their home. They want to have fun, and they want to be introduced to new things. But when it comes to their comfort, their basic level of comfort, what Abraham Maslow talks about, those basic functions for every human being, that's what the hotel business does better than anybody else on earth. And that's why the hotel business has so much growth ahead of it. And that's why Hilton's doing so well.
I mean, are you both registered Hilton Honors members? What's in your wallet, gentlemen?
Sadly, just silver.
100% I am. 100%. I just lied to you.
I'm not going to ask you to show your membership card, but I will believe you, and I'll check it later.
No, I admitted I lied.
I have a card, and I just stayed my last overnight trip. I'm happy to say I stayed at a Hilton branded property. So.
I will tell you, I have absolutely no membership cards, except the only Delta. I'm just a Delta person. But outside of that, I am zero. I have zero. And I do so much business that people just kind of, just book me. So I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But I will be, the next time I check into a Hilton, I will sign up, I promise.
Well, just so you know, Juan, we don't want you to feel that, we're not giving you enough Hilton love, but we're going to be at the brand new Virgin, which I know has got, Hilton over there. So we're going to Las Vegas to do that. Of course, Resorts World will be heading over there, and you got not one, not two, but three different Hilton branded properties over there. But that doesn't do you any good. Las Vegas is not in the Caribbean or Latin America.
Every little help. My friends in the U.S. would be remiss. The Virgin Las Vegas a Curie Collection by Hilton. I got a photographic report from one of my team members the other day, and it is looking spectacular. And Resorts World, the Conrad, the Cruxford, and the Hilton are going to be amazing. June 20th. Even though I'm in Latin America, I know what's happening here around, and Vegas is hot. I think you guys are going to have a phenomenal time. All of these properties are going to have, the all of the technology that you're expecting, from digital key, Hilton clean stay. I think people are going to, I think it's going to be great for us in Vegas, and I hope you guys enjoy it, because I'm certainly going down there.
What's the highest level of Hilton honors?
Diamond. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be doing podcasts from those hotels. We, as a thank you, we would like a diamond. We would like a membership to the Diamond Club.
We'll talk to our head of honors and see what we can do. But we've actually reduced. We've actually made it easier for people to maintain their status. I think that has been one of the things that we
gave everybody a free pass this past year, basically.
Well, it is a free pass, but it's like, come to us when you're comfortable doing so. I think Absolutely. It was more empathy. We acknowledge that people were not traveling, right? But we've made it easier for people to keep their status, and you should try to maintain it. But when you feel comfortable doing it, I think that's one of the things that has distinguished us from the rest, is that, listen, we get it. You're not traveling, right? But if you're traveling, we're going to be here. We're going to be ready. And the same thing has gone throughout the company, right? As we've seen all of this. And it actually makes me very proud that, I got to keep my status last year, even though I was not on the road 100 nights, right? So loyalty is hard earned, and we are here for the customers.
Yeah, Delta did that for me, and as soon as they did it, I mean, for Delta, and I loved it. And I was just like, and then I was thinking, it's like, if they didn't do it, I was staying with them anyway. But I would have been very upset.
Yeah, you definitely would have complained about that. Juan, before the pandemic, people were going all over the world, traveling a lot more. That isn't necessarily the case today. I'm a big believer, a couple of years from now, once we're all back to normal, we'll be traveling in the patterns that we used to. What does this mean for Hilton and for your job in Caribbean and Latin America developing new hotels? Is it it's an opportunity? Is it more of a challenge for you, or is it just going to be same old kind of a neutral situation?
The term new normal has a lot of connotations for different people, right? Like, I think we're going to go to a new normal. I think people with the pandemic have started, valuing a lot of things, like long vacations, working from home, working remote. We're going to go back to the offices. I believe that's the natural thing, but maybe people will take leisure differently, right? Business and leisure. I hope that people will see all the resorts that we're building and will go like, I'm going there for a conference, but my family's coming. We're staying one more week. Some of the good traits we've had, through the pandemic, I expect some of them to stay, right? Like, people will enjoy longer vacation, right? And they will take more care of themselves. We're seeing this, with what we're doing on the innovation side, is like, whether it's 5 feet to fitness rooms being used more because people want their own gym in the room, or whether we're seeing, more enhanced food and beverage, or more, upscale food and beverage, or we are talking about better grab and goes. I think things that we call new normal are here to stay. But my real hope is that, the good traits that we've inherited by living through the pandemic will stay, and people will continue doing these things. So I'm really, really thinking that the new normal is going to mean a new way of doing business, a new way of engaging with our customers, and a new way of people spending their time off, because, time is limited. It's a very finite currency. So
Anthony, sorry.
This is the time of the show that we do every day. Where I make a prediction, and I'm making a prediction that
I immediately remove it from the video footage so we can make sure he stays right. Yeah.
No,
tickets.
We've been very successful on the show making predictions going on.
We have been.
Thursdays and Sunday nights, which are typically difficult nights for the hotel industry, okay, you're going to see those start to move up because you're going to have people go back to the office, but you're going to have them going 3 days a week. And people are going to choose, in some cases, when they go on vacation, which 3 days. So they're going to take more short vacations. They're going to take long vacations, but they're also going to say, hey, you know what? Let's go away this weekend. I'm off on Thursday and Friday. I'm working from the office. You know, I can work. So let's leave. Or you know what? Let's not go back Sunday because I'll take off Monday. And that way we don't get all that traffic on Sunday. And everybody hates that Sunday, trip to the airport because you feel like you feel like a loser. It's like, you're going to the airport. It's like, I don't want it Sunday morning. We should have a brunch. You start seeing people leaving on Monday. So I really see those Sundays and Mondays. I'm sorry, Mondays, Sunday night,
Friday,
and Thursday night become. You're going to start to see those sneaking up on us.
We'll be very happy to have them there, right? Like those as you say, they're slower nights, but I do agree with you. I think that's going to happen. And weddings, events, maybe there will be smaller, but they'll be more frequent, right? Like people want to enjoy their time, and it's going to happen.
Listen, they pulled the Band-Aid off here, and in America, and I mean, it's even New Yorkers who have been very, very hardcore about masks and doing the right thing. I mean, you don't even remember there was a pandemic in New York anymore.
No, I mean, it's we're doing a pretty good job at forgetting right away. But one of the things that I don't want to forget is I can stay with my family a little bit longer. And you guys have the Workspaces by Hilton to make it a little bit easier for people that are trying to combine this new level of business and leisure and the combination of that. I think that's such a smart idea for right now as we're moving forward to give people those options. And Juan, one of the things that I anecdotally have seen when I was at the Hunter Hotels Investment Conference a few weeks ago, every single person I had a personal, intimate conversation with about their experiences in COVID, I've said it here on the show before, they all are thinking reevaluating how they want to live their lives. They don't want to travel for business as much. They enjoyed spending more time with their family. And that notion is really terrific.
Made you look.
Ah, you suck. Anthony played a trick on me. Someone is feeling.
I'm glad to know that I'm not the bad guy here.
I know. Listen, I just set the guy up for a whole thing, and then you jump in, tricking me, claiming I got a stain on my shirt when I do not. Juan, sorry you have to deal with this.
Listen. It's fun to talk to you, gentlemen. But
I'll tell you what, usually I'm the wacko on the show. It's crazy to see he is. Juan, sorry, take it away.
No worries. No, listen. That I recently went to Chicago for some meetings, and I used Workspace for Hilton. And to have that room, and we used to call it day use, right? But it's not a day use. You're really in the need, as we are we're showing in this call, that internet, it must be crisp and perfect, right? So you have to have that. You have to have that security, and you have to have a good space to work, right? So if you couple that with the services that hotels use, and the ability to have your own room, not have to worry, because I agree, we've taken the Band-Aid off, but we need to be careful, right? Like we are past the worst in the U.S., but there's other places that are not, right? Like I see this when I go back and forth to see my family in Europe. Europe is not past the corner, right? So there's still going to be some adjustments, and I'm hopeful that if something else happens, like we will react better. So all of these things that we're creating for the benefit of our customers, they're here to stay, and they'll be here when people want it. And if somebody wants, and I don't have the situation at home, but if you are home and you have there's no daycare, or your kids are on holidays, and you need to have a conference call, you're going to need a space. If you are lucky enough, you have it in your house. But if not, we're here for you, right? I think that's the message that we're sending the consumer is, don't think about us only as a place to sleep and great hospitality. Is like, we have other uses for those rooms, and our owners are thanking us, right? Like, okay, think about new creative ways to create revenue. Think about innovation. That's what Hilton has always been known for. Has been innovation. The first company to put air conditioning in the rooms. The first innovation regarding food and beverage. We need to continue that. Digital key. We just surpassed I don't know what number of millions of already keyless entries that was accelerated, right, through the pandemic. Adoption of technology, book your room, connecting rooms guaranteed that we just launched, right? Like all these things are happening at such a fast pace that we need to, we're going to be constantly innovating. I think that that's what you can say that you're going to see from Hilton in the next couple of years, other than great hotels, is innovation in how we serve the customer, which to me is pretty exciting. I mean, it's really 2021.
Yeah, and I think you've outpaced some of your competition during the pandemic, and I think that's evident. You guys have done a lot of work. And listen, the hotel business, we used to come to innovation way late, and we got it wrong a lot. And I'm starting to see the brands getting it right, investing in the right places. So, listen, I'm excited. Every time I'm traveling, it seems like it's more efficient, whether it be checking into a hotel or checking into the airport.
Yeah, I got one more question to ask you before we start heading towards wrapping up. Mike McManus is saying, how's restaffing going, for example, in the Caribbean? Are you having the same challenges in the Caribbean or other jurisdictions that you know of, that same as the United States? Can you even answer that question, since you're in development? You're not in operations day to day.
I can take that question. Some of these island nations and some of these countries, they're known for their hospitality. Hospitality is something people feel proud about. Human resources is the best resource we have in my part of the world, right? We have people that take great pride in delivering service. For them, it's not an activity that they do just for a timeline. They devote lives to hospitality and service, right? So when you're staffing up, you're calling back team members, you're getting your team members back. And they want to see, I've walked into hotels and I've seen people that wanted to hug someone they hadn't seen, and they're happy to see you, right? So that is the greatest thing I have in my region, is great owners and great human resources. If we take that away, we have great hotels, right? But the service we're going to be delivering, because people are proud of delivering this service, is one of the things that excites me most about this region. There's a real pride in delivering hospitality, the old-fashioned and the new-fashioned way, right? So that's something that I don't have to deal with in my normal day-to-day. And our ops team, like everything, they're going to encounter some instances in which they will, but it's something that we believe that is not going to be so prevalent. Again, I'm not in operations, but that I'm just talking from our experience. People deliver service, and to them is an activity that brings them joy, it brings them employment, and it betters their lives. Every time we open a hotel, we're creating the way I tell people what I do, because some people don't understand, is we create jobs, whether it's on the construction phase or in the next. We're improving families. We're creating what we call the Hilton effect, right? The global effect, in which you create wealth around the communities where you build hotels. That's what we do best. And in our region, phenomenal human resources, and we're very proud of that.
Beautiful. So before we wrap up today, anything that we neglected to discuss? And then, of course, give yourself a good shameless plug for why Hilton's so awesome. They should do business with you.
I think people know Hilton. We are looking forward to having all of our customers back. When they're ready to do so, we'll be ready for them, right? So I want to encourage people to, when they're feeling good about what's happening around the world, come travel, come see us, give us a chance. Anthony, you're on my list. You need to come give us a chance, and all inclusive. You need to give us a chance. Be adventurous. Take a trip out there, right? And come back out. There's so much to enjoy in this region and all over the world, and all the hotels we have. We're now at 7,000 plus hotels, and we've got a lot in the pipeline. So if we're not there yet at the place where you're traveling, I know that our development team is working hard to get you to the Hilton branded hotel in that market. So stay tuned. There's a lot of activity going on, as Kevin referred to in his new development role, and we're going to announce some pretty interesting things. So stay tuned, and you'll see them coming up.
Excellent. Anthony?
Well, I will tell you that of all the guests we've had, you win a special award.
Oh,
everybody knows we have a private chat. Okay, your PR team wins best PR team ever. Carla, who's worked for your company for over 20 years, has been the most spontaneous and creative and informed PR person we've ever had on the show. So thank you, Carla.
And she makes us all look good. I'm just here for the show, right? So she's the real person behind the scenes in the room. So
everyone, stop giving away all of our secrets.
If I really wanted to embarrass her, I said let's bring her on. But if we bring her on, she's gonna get mad, so we won't.
Yeah, she says, "Oh my God, stop laughing." All right, Carla, you're the best. Juan, you're awesome. One last thing before we let you go. What's your secret to becoming vice president so quickly in your career arc?
Well, I've been with Hilton for 12 years. So I started and I was old. I'm going Benjamin Button the other way around. So, I'm not a prototypical millennial. I've been with the same company for 12 years. Listen, Hilton is a phenomenal company not for anything. We've won best places to work for, a couple of years. They really, are focused on the results and the growth of people. So if you're a student, you're watching this and you're thinking about a place to, start your career, or you're thinking about changing your career, this is a great place to work. And it is true. It's a great place to work. If not, we wouldn't have anything. Carla has been here for 20 plus years. I've been here for 12 plus years, but we've got a lot of people starting. I'm very enthusiastic, and I keep on repeating to students, don't be despaired by what has happened to the hospitality industry. We were 10% of global employment, travel, and tourism, and we will return once again. Yeah. So don't be despaired by that. Think about the company that you want to work with and you want to learn with, because in this job you learn every day. Every day is different. So it's a great place to it's a great place to work, the travel and tourism. And I have to give a kudos to our company, because it is a great place to work.
A lot of people join the military. A lot of people join the military to travel. A lot of people become, work in the airline business to travel. Go in the hotel business. You get to stay one place for a couple of years, go to another place for a couple of years, or you get a job like yours and you travel every single day.
Agreed.
Yep. Love it. Juan, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. That was
Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Tell me.
First of all, he was great, and I love Carla, and I love Hilton. So great show. But I've never seen anybody go so hard in the paint looking for a stain on their shirt.
There.
So everybody that's listening, I put in the comments, private comments. I don't know why I did that in private chat. Hey, Glenn, you have a stain on your shirt near the second button. And I expected him to maybe turn his camera off or maybe just look down quietly. He did the full.
What? I'm also known as one of the most gullible people of all time. As a matter of fact,
that was maybe the best crank I've ever pulled. You went full in, bro.
I'm very naive. I wouldn't think that my friends would betray me in such a way, but yeah.
People tune into this show to have fun, right?
That's right. So
at your expense.
That's okay. If you want more fun at my expense, tune into Friday Night Audits every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, where everybody just incessantly makes fun of me.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I was just on a call, and my partner, Jeremy, was on, and there's a bunch of people on the call. And in the last 3 days, she's made fun of me 3 times. So I thought she was mad at me. So I called her up. I go, why are you making fun of me? You have not made fun of me in 11 years. Because that's all you do is make fun of people. So I thought I would defend the team, and now we're just going to make fun of you.
All right. I now have a new favorite person.
Anyway, that was a great show. Great information. Listen, Hilton is leading the way in a lot of different aspects.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about doing this every day. We get to talk about great leaders, great leadership, and incredible products out there that are going to help rebirth the hospitality industry over time. Anthony, one of the things that I find interesting is sometimes I just can't watch this show live at noon. I'd rather go switch and listen to it, right? So why not listen to our shows? Find it on Apple Podcasts, find it on iHeartRadio, of course, find it on Stitcher, wherever you prefer to get your shows. And don't forget, connect with me at Traveling Glenn. And of course, Anthony is at Anthony Hotels if you ever want to communicate with each of us. Anthony, any final words?
And yes, and most of our listeners listen through the podcast. They don't watch the show because they're jogging or running or walking or eating or busy, and they just put their headphones on. But we did make a transition, and you didn't even recognize the what happened in the last month.
It's hard to. I've been looking at stains on my shirt all
in the last month. Something that we were a little concerned about didn't happen. The pandemic, everybody was home. Everybody was coming on the show, from CEOs to presidents to everybody in between.
Yep.
And we were a little concerned that our guests, maybe getting so busy, wouldn't come back on the show as often. And we're getting better guests than we've ever gotten.
That's right. Just don't let them know the pandemic's over.
Why did you take such a deep breath? Are you okay?
I don't know, Anthony. I don't know. But it really.
You know what's interesting? If we did this the right way, like not the right way, but the old way, where you go to radio and they would have to give the Anthony and Glenn, like the Green Light Anthony and Glenn show,
right?
We would have been canceled the first second we were on air, right?
I would have given it 4 seconds, but I tend to think you're right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. If there's a particular guest that you'd love to see, why not drop us a line? I'm Glenn at novacancynews.com. Let me know who you would like us to feature on the show. Tomorrow we got back the incomparable Chris Green's going to be joining us today, tomorrow. And we also have somebody else.
You sure we would have been canceled?
The chief investment officer at Island Hospitality coming in tomorrow.
So we would have been canceled in less than 4 seconds. And we have Chris Green, incomparable Chris Green, followed by somebody.
Let me look that piece of information up. All right, everybody. We love you. Thanks for dealing with us. I think I got an interminable case of spring fever over there. I got to get myself outside, but I've got more content to record this afternoon. So I'm strapped to this studio. You guys will be back tomorrow. Anthony, what are you working on today? Got more?
Too many things.
All right, everybody. Remember, thanks so much for being here. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and
be kind to yourself.
See y'all tomorrow.